Today we're doing a slam on the hottest new baits on the market, and that is Mach baits. Mach baits just launched with 6 brand new baits. We have a wide variety of different things in here. We have everything from topwater to jerk baits to crank baits, and even a little swim bait, which is my personal favorite bait out of all the Mach baits. This is the Mach Shad, and in addition to that, we have another one of my personal favorites, and that is the Patroller, a little plopper style topwater bait. This one has my favorite name personally, and that is this jerk bait. It's called the work bait. We got the slack jaw and the bouncer, 2 crankbaits, and finally but not least, we have the spray and shad, which is just a little popper. All of these baits are available exclusively at Dick's Sporting Goods as of right now, so feel free to stop by and check them out. So let's go ahead and take these baits, and we're gonna go out on the water, and we're gonna try to catch a fish with every single one of these guys and see what kind of damage we can do. Let's go ahead and hop into these baits and get started. Ooh, which one do I want to start with? Maybe we'll start out cranking just to cover some water, see what is going on. Let's go ahead and grab this, the slack jaw. So one of the really cool and unique features about the slack jaw is that you probably noticed it right away. The fact that there's 2 tie-on points, and you can actually take the split ring and move it from the front one to the back one. If you tie the bait on the back tie-on point, this bait will actually run a lot shallower than it will on the front spot. So it just gives you an option to kind of change your depth range that you actually want to fish this in, which makes it more versatile for a bait of this stature, which is super cool. You kind of get 2 baits in one. In addition to that, they have super high quality paint jobs. There's a wide variety of them, and the hooks on all the Mach baits, guys, are razor sharp. They're some of the sharpest hooks I've ever seen come on any kind of like stock bait. A lot of times people, especially like high-end tournament anglers, will change the hooks on all their baits because they just aren't good enough out of the package when money's on the line. These, you do not have to worry about that. These hooks are ready to go right out of the package. So let's go ahead and get this sucker tied on and see if we can't catch something right away. Okay, let's go ahead and, oh, that was not a good first cast. Let's go ahead and get this thing started. Let's make a long cast down this tree. Oh gosh, okay. Doing good over here. Oh my gosh. This is amateur hour right now. I'm struggling. Let's try that again. Zing it down that tree line. That's more like it. I was trying to get it as tight as I can to those trees. These fish really hug these trees super tight, especially with the sun super high in the sky. But I do see some shad flickering over there, which is piquing my interest. We're on the, kind of like the tail end of the shad spawn right now. So I tried to grab Mach baits that are as close to a shad color as possible. Pushing back into the back of this little cove right here, and there's some riprap stuff in the shade. Let's see if there's one hanging out on that. It's looking extra fishy. Come on, no, there's gotta be at least one up in here. Oh, let's go, finally. He followed it out from the shade. I saw him come flying out of that shade line, and he came up and smoked it. It's the first one of the day, no giant, but a respectable fish. We'll take him. Boom. I'm gonna wait for that helicopter. Well, whenever I catch something, there's always some kind of obnoxious noise in the background going on. Take a look at that, guys. This fish came up and smoked it right there. Head first on the old slack jaw, which is what you want to see. What you'll notice a lot of the times is you would think that fish come up and eat these baits from the back first, but when they have the opportunity, they actually prefer to eat a bait head first. And the reason for that is, like, if this was an actual fish, you know, they would have their fins, and if you ever run your finger down the fin of, you know, of any fish. All the fins like to go down this direction. And if you try to run it this way, you know, you're just gonna run into spikes. And the same thing goes for when this bait is going down their throat. They want it to go down nice and smooth, so they try to eat things head first, which is exactly what went on right there. That hook was really close going into my finger. These little guys are a little wiggly. Let's go ahead and get them off. There we go. Whew. Escaped a tragic fate there with getting my finger hooked. Let's go ahead and stick this sucker back in. Thanks for biting, baby. All right, first bait knocked out. Let's chop this sucker off and get on to the next. Let's see, what do we want to use? I am thinking, gosh, I really want to throw the plopper and the shad, but I'm thinking I'm gonna try to knock out some of these other baits that are harder for the conditions. So let's go ahead and go with the bouncer, the square bill. I think this one might prove to be more difficult than the slack jaw, just because I'm pretty sure this thing floats. Let's see, this might be a little risky. Yep, it floats. So this thing is not gonna sink below these tree lines. I'm gonna actually have to get it moving to get this bait down. So what I think I might do is just try to parallel cast all these trees and get it down underneath the tree line like that. But you know, that always comes with the risk of snagging in the trees a little bit more, but I think we can manage. I wonder if we can get lucky and there's just gonna be another one up in this shade line next to this rock. Oh gosh, that fish came out and crushed it. Oh, dang. Oh, come on, eat it again. Dang. Oh, there he is. Oh, it's a giant bluegill. It's a giant bluegill. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's a monster. That is a freaking pancake, dude. Look at that bluegill. Oh my gosh. That thing is a freak. Colton, look how freaking big that thing is. That is nuts. No. Oh. Sorry, bud. I swear, guys, when bluegill get to this size, they don't even look like the same species. They just get super circular. They almost look like a dinner plate. I mean, that thing is a freak. I don't even know how to hold it. I can't get my hand around it in like any direction, so it's kind of tough to hold. But I can't believe we just caught this thing. I'm guessing we're gonna count that for the bouncer, but that thing is a freak. Let's see if I can get a weigh on this thing. I don't typically weigh panfish at all, so I don't know if this will actually hold on to this fish's lip or not. Let's see what she weighs. Colton, what do you think this fish is gonna weigh?
Just over 1.
1.1 pound bluegill. Let's go. That thing is a tank. That might have weighed more than the first bass, to be honest. Thanks for the bite, my dude. We'll go ahead and let you go. Let's go. That was awesome, man. That is not every day you catch a big bluegill like that, especially when you're not targeting them. Well, if that's any testament to how sharp these hooks are, that is a great example, because that little bluegill has a tiny mouth. Even though it's a big bluegill, they still have small mouths, and there's really no way for it to actually get this thing in its mouth. It just came up and kind of smacked it off. It looked like there was a big bed there. It might have been bedding. I'm not exactly sure what the spawn time for bluegill is. I'm pretty sure they spawn a few times a year, if my memory serves me correctly. But he just came up and kind of bumped this thing, and he got a foul hook in him. So that is really cool to see how actually sharp these things are in action. But it is time to move on to our third bait. Even though we didn't catch a bass with that, I'm still counting it. Let's try some topwater. I'm thinking we're gonna go with the spray and shad. Let's give this a shot. I wish I had some lighter gear with me to throw this on, because this is 20-pound fluorocarbon, which is a little bit of overkill for this particular bait. Wish I had some light braid, like 30 to 15-pound braid, just because this fluorocarbon sinks and will definitely mess up the action a little bit. Here, you want me to throw that really close to you? Like, aim at one of those leaves. Tell me what's a good distance.
Start back in there. I'm seeing close on it.
All right. Oh, did you see that fish underneath it? A huge bass just flashed right underneath that, like a 5-pounder.
You serious?
Yeah, I think it got spooked from the boat or something. I don't know if it was coming up for the for the pop or not, but a huge fish just flashed right underneath that thing. That would have been a sick shot.
Yeah.
There we go. Let's go. Finally. Crush it up in that shade line. Let's go. Come here, buddy. You wanna get an underwater shot? Oh no, he spit it. No. I was trying to hold it on the line for a second so Colton could get an underwater shot. I could have just whipped it right in. That's okay. We're gonna count that one because I easily could have got that one in the boat. But wasn't trying to get a camera shot for y'all, but let's go ahead and cut this off and we'll move on to our next mock bait. I think the work bait is calling my name. Let's put on the little jerk and see if we can get one to bite it. Let's get after it. Come on, little fish. I'm gonna go back over here to the same little pocket. Last time I was out here fishing with Noah, we were throwing big swim baits and they were just crushing them out of these two little holes right here, actually these three little spots. So it seemed like it was a little hot spot. One downfall of having really good hooks is when you get stuck in the trees, they stay in the trees. There's a tiny bass underneath it. Oh, there we go. I got him. It's a little micro. It is just a micro. Oh, gosh, threw it right back at me. Well, I guess that counts technically. I'm gonna throw this for like 5 more minutes, see if I can't get one more fish on this. I'm not satisfied with a 1/4 pounder. That is just dumb. Well, I gave him my best shot for a few more minutes and came up short, but I think we're gonna go ahead and switch gears to the next bait, and we're finally on to my final 2 mock baits, my 2 personal favorites. We have the Patroller and the Mach Shad. Let's see. I think we gotta do the Patroller because I want to save the Mach Shad for last because this thing is just a bad boy. This thing gets crushed. I have 100% confidence in that. I have really good confidence in this as well. So let's go ahead and get to it and see if we can't find one. Coming up on some more riprap up here. I think there's a good chance we might find one in this little shade line. Oh, golly, just got hammered, dude. Absolutely destroyed. Absolutely. Look at all the bass following him. Look at, there's like 4 or 5 bass following him. Look at that. Look at that. That's sick. Put the underwater camera in there. That is awesome. Stay down, stay down, stay down. Okay, let's get this big mamma jamma in here. What did I tell you guys? If one of these fish was gonna deliver, or if one of these baits was gonna deliver on a big fish, that was gonna be the Patroller or the Mach Shad. And the Patroller did its thing. Dang, baby, that is a nice one. I'm thinking she's probably close to 4, if not over. Let me grab these pliers right here, and let's see if we can't get this out of there. That hook is in there, man. There we go. Oh my goodness. That is a beautiful largemouth. That is what we came out for, and that is what I was hoping the mock baits would deliver on. And that is a big old Gertha. Let's throw her on the scale and see what she weighs. I'm guessing like just around 4. I don't think she's more than like 4 1/4. I don't think she's less than 3 3/4. 392, almost a 4-pounder. So I was right in that ballpark. That's just a long fish. It was kind of hard to tell because she's a little skinny for her length. Let's go ahead and get this big old girl back in. Off she goes. Heck yeah, man. That is awesome. That's what I come out here for. That was so cool watching all those fish come out following that fish. They were probably just wolf packing down this bank, and sure enough, like 5 or 6 fish, all about the same size as that one, came following her out. So it is time to chop off the good old patroller, even though I want to keep on throwing it after catching a fish like that. But we're gonna go to the Mach shad, which is my personal favorite. So I think we should be able to get the job done there as well. It's time, guys. The legendary Mach shad. Let's get this sucker out of there and see what we can do with this thing. All tied up, I'm gonna throw it right back in that same spot. I doubt those fish are still there. They probably kind of swam down the bank. Like I said, they were wolf packing, probably just running those banks. So we might run into them again if they're going this direction. There we go. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. That is what I'm talking about. We took a total of maybe 10 casts with this thing, and we already got ourselves a nice one. Let's freaking go. Not quite as big as the last one, but a very respectable bass, if I do say so myself. Probably in that low 3-pound range. She crushed that thing, guys. Absolutely inhaled it. Let me go ahead and grab some pliers and we will get this thing out of here. She's real wiggly. Oh gosh, I mean, they start going like, you feel their tail start getting a little bit of momentum, you know they're about to freak out. Oh gosh, she's trying to fling on me bad. Oh God, I knew she was gonna do that. Well, she's bleeding a little bit, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and put her back in. I'm not gonna weigh her, just gonna let her swim on for another day. Thanks for biting, baby. Today we're doing that was pleasant. Hold on, I think. Today we're doing the Mach baits